Okay, so hello everyone and welcome back to the 10th episode of the Jaguar Pride podcast. I'm your host, Tony Acevedo, and today I have three illustrious guests. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Katelyn Forsberg. I'm in 10th grade.
I'm Serenity Foreman. I'm a freshman.
I'm Cara Davis, and I'm a junior.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. I have three special guests. Could you guys get into kind of what extracurricular activities you guys are into, any organizations or clubs?
Oh, goodness. It's a pretty long list for me. I'm a student government co-chair, chair now. And I'm in Interact Club, which we do community service. I'm in Zoo Crew, which we do school spirit stuff. I'm in DECA for marketing. I was in GSA for a while, but I don't have time.
I'm in student government, FBLA, and robotics.
I'm in FBLA, and yeah, that's it.
Well, so how have you guys been able to adapt to those different clubs, especially in our hybrid kind of circumstance at the moment?
I know as well as you do, student government's been really hard because a lot of what we do is centered around like bringing people together. Can't really do that because you're supposed to stay apart. Other than that, I think other clubs have been adapting really well with the online meetings and stuff. I know Interact, we've been doing community service projects related to COVID and stuff. It's been pretty good.
I have no opinion on that because all I've ever known was how to do it online because I'm a freshman, so I don't know.
Yeah, basically FBLA is all online. It's all adapted to meeting on Google Meets and just keeping in contact.
And so...
Me neither.
I keep going like this.
I just keep looking back and forth.
So I know you guys are all in different grades. Can you guys get into like your perspectives on Canada? How do you guys think it's been going, here on campus? Any pros, any cons, anything you guys like to get into about, your different experiences here on campus?
Well, experience-wise, I think our like the way Canyon View does things as a high school is like completely different. Like, I have friends who live in California. Obviously, they have different laws and stuff like that concerning COVID. But when I told them that I had yoga last year, they're like, "What kind of school do you go to?" But I love the way we do things here, and the way we work with how we like focus on diversity and stuff and all of our pillars. Especially what's going on in the world right now, I think it helps a lot to have people in this type of environment.
Again, I don't really know because this is my first year here, but I think it's cool. I mean, I've never experienced anything else.
Well, how is it different from middle school?
Middle school just kind of sucked in general. I went to Gelato.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Here.
I went to Gelato, so it just kind of sucked in general there. So I really like it here because the teachers are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good environment. I don't really have anything bad to say. It's all good. Like, I like how they reacted and responded to COVID and how they followed all the guidelines. And that's basically just all I have.
And you guys don't know each other personally, though, do you?
I do. I know her a little bit because we have met over the summer for student government, not in person though.
Really?
Yeah.
So would you guys think that student government is a really good club to get into to connect people together?
I do know that I'm not going to say it's an exclusive club, but we already do have 40 members, and we're not supposed to have a lot more than that. But actually, when I first went, like the freshman year, like club fair, like the very first one, when you were supposed to pick your extracurricular activities and like decide what you wanted to do, I didn't want to do student government. I was like, I'm not going to be that kid that's going to annoy everyone and be like, wear blue on Fridays. I'm that kid now. But I love it so much. I've created such like lasting friendships that I didn't know I could have, and I've like given myself not necessarily a purpose, but like an outlet for me to like express myself. I guess in a way.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's cool. I've met a lot of people that I wouldn't have met otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Do you like Miss Kennedy?
Yes, I love Miss Kennedy. She's the best.
She's we got give her a little shout out. She's such a good teacher. Like she does FBLA a little bit. She's a graphic design teacher. She was a cheer coach last year. She does a lot of things, and she does track and like boys volleyball. Mm-hmm. She's all over the place, but she's like, she cares so much that she does all of it. So,
Yeah, Miss Kennedy, I've known her for a few years now. I was in her first graphic design class, so she's definitely been a very impactful part of my high school career.
She's like one of those teachers I'm gonna remember. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, do you guys have any particular like teachers that you find that have been really helping you through this? Do you find any teachers that are there anything that you really like to like particularly about how our school has been handling teaching and educating in the current moment?
I do love my English teacher. I had her last year, Miss Wallow. So good. So good.
Yeah, I'd say Mr. Vickery was a good teacher for me. He was very responsive and easy to communicate with, considering I was online with him. So it's really helped considering like the circumstances.
And you had mentioned FBLA. So how has that been having to adjust to that online? Because I know that because I was in it as well, or I am still in it. But last year we had way more opportunities and way more things to do in terms of going out and being able to interact. So have you been able to adjust well to being online in terms of FBLA?
Well, this is my first year in FBLA, but I heard a lot about how before, when there wasn't a pandemic, that they would be able to go out and do fun things like staying at fancy resorts and like I don't know, just doing fun things. And this year we can't really do that because of the pandemic. So it's gonna be kind of a bummer not to do that and just do Zoom communication with like judges and all that type of stuff. But I mean, it's a lot easier for people who are like not so like, social. It gives them an easier way in, kind of like to get used to everybody. But it is also a lot more difficult because you can't really communicate with everybody the same way you would in person.
I don't know if it's just me, but I've been able to read people's faces like so much easier.
Yeah.
Like I'll look at someone and then like look at me and we'll like have like a telepathic thing and I'll be like, you thought what I just thought. Yeah.
So like speaking of the Zoom call, so on the off days, have you guys been able to adjust to that, doing assignments online and having to deal with online teaching as opposed to being in person?
I do think it's a lot awesomer, that's not a word. It's a lot cooler for tests. Like I had a geometry test on Friday and I go to school on Mondays and Thursdays. I'm not saying I cheated, but I used my resources.
Oh my gosh. That's the perfect thing to say on camera.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, okay, he's not going to watch my podcast. Oh. I'm not going to watch these, but watch. No. Okay. I didn't cheat, I promise.
I'd say for me, it's a lot more difficult because you have to be really responsible and you kind of have to depend on yourself to actually do your work.
And go to class on time?
Yeah, the days you're not in school, it's a lot more difficult for me because it's just difficult.
So you guys see a difficulty rise in terms of being online?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the like sudden change of like going to school then online like the day after day is a little bit weird for me, I guess, because like one day you have to get up at like this sleep schedule thing, I guess, is like a big thing for me because it kind of throws off my whole day.
Yeah.
Like getting up earlier if I have to plan on taking the bus or like that was normal last year, but now getting up 5 minutes before class starts and laying in bed with my camera off.
That's how
That's a bit different.
It's such a bad motivation thing for me.
Yes.
Because on the days that I have school, I get up early, I walk my dog, and I like get motivated for the day. And then I wake up 2 minutes before my class, and I don't get out of bed all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And then
my
the
mom's
day's
like,
just kind of a
she's
waste
out of her
after
cave.
that.
Rude.
So have you guys been taking advantage of the Wednesdays that we have to like either relax or to go into tutoring? Have you guys been using those days?
I always have people come over.
Ghost.
I always hang out with people on Wednesdays because I don't have to deal with school. So I'm like, it's the middle of the week. I am not going to stay home all day. I'll just go to somebody's house or they'll come over.
Like people will tell me, be like, yeah, I did a reteach on Wednesday, and I'd be like, I got Jamba Juice and went shopping. Like my bank account is very much so suffering because the amount of time that I'm like creating that I didn't have before. Like granted, I probably did have that time, but now I'm like sitting at home like, well, don't have school, let's go shop.
Yeah.
I use that as like my relaxed day because like all the homework I get, I have work on top of that. So like Wednesdays, if I don't have work and I don't have any homework and I don't have to retake any tests or reteach, it's kind of a relaxed day. It gives me a day to myself.
I have heard that people like have like found it easier like getting a job by like saying like I can work the whole day on like Wednesday or whatever.
Yeah.
So, kind of touching on a different topic, on a more fun topic. How have you guys been handling, quarantine and everything? Have you guys been indulging yourselves in more activities? Have you been, what hobbies are you into? Things like that.
Fun thing, I quit volleyball and started knitting. I'm such an old lady. I learned how to sew when I was like really little, so I started sewing again. Did all my crafty things. Felt like a Pinterest mom. I'm still there. I didn't even finish a blanket. I don't want to do it.
I've probably reread the Harry Potter series 4 times, and then I would just lay in bed and watch Netflix all day.
I thought I finished Netflix for a while, but then Kissing Booth 2 came out, and I was like, oh.
That was so interesting.
It was such a letdown.
It was. I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay.
It has given me the opportunity to like personally connect with TV shows on Netflix.
Like such a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, I basically sit and watch Netflix all day. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, I've kind of indulged more in like an artistic and creative side. I like to draw more. I like to try and make up new things, be more imaginative. So I know I like to take those free moments that I have and take advantage of that. Because I know I definitely want to get into something that's more creative oriented.
Yeah.
So like, where do you guys see yourselves in the next 5 years past high school?
Well, not as a grandma. I want to study to be a political lawyer, completely like separate, but I have to do like 8 years of schooling, so I'm like prepping myself for student loans.
I have no idea what I want to do with my life.
That's fine, you're a freshman.
Yeah.
There were times I've changed my mind about what I want to do.
That's literally how I've been since I was in
In
kindergarten.
6th grade, I wanted to be a baker.
In 6th grade, for like 2 years, I had my heart set on being a marine biologist, and then I went to the actual ocean, and I'm like, I'm scared of this. Never
You lived
mind.
in the ocean till 6th grade?
No, I just hadn't been back to California since I was like 2.
The ocean's gross.
And then I went back and I was like, that's terrifying. When I get to the point in the water where I cannot see my feet and I'm standing on all of those shells, I lost my mind and
I
started
stepped on a
crying.
stingray once.
I literally started crying because the wave came up and I saw a stingray and I was like, nope. I literally started crying and I screamed for my mother.
The smell at the beach? I can't.
And it's cold. Like, why would I want to do that every
I
day?
mean, I lived in California my entire life till I moved here. Like, my grandma lived like 5 minutes from the beach. Just because I'm like a bright Californian, the beach still sucks. It smells gross. Bathrooms are gross. Sand is itchy. Water's salty. It's full of fish pee. People pee. I just don't like the beach.
And the people are annoying.
Oh,
They're so loud.
The seals, do you know? Okay, so if you go to PB, like Pacific Beach, the seals are so gross. Like, they flop around everywhere.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I wanted to kind of pursue my career in graphic design because that's something I really enjoy doing. It's not only like it's not work for me, it's more of something fun to do.
Yeah.
How much, what are you in right now in terms of graphic design? Are you in graphic design 2 or 3 or?
I'm in graphic design level 2.
So when did you decide you wanted to get into graphic design?
That was like the summer before sophomore year. I started realizing that I enjoyed spending more time like using my computer for like graphic design and stuff like that. I knew more about graphic design before I went into the classes because I had done that in my free time, but I realized, oh, well, I could use this as a career someday, so might as well learn more.
Yeah. So whether you guys know what you're doing or not, are you guys either excited or, a little more, apprehensive about life past high school?
I'm excited. Like, I know this is like a lot of, like, it's obviously it's scary. Everything's scary. But, like, I am so excited to not only be able to, like, I've been told that I'm a little bit much for people, so I want to like expand my horizons as a certain sense of like figuring out who I am and like who I am outside of like school and outside of like my own home that I like grew up in. And I think that'd be a good way to do it when I like reach college and like go into a career that I absolutely love.
Absolutely. I think whether you change whatever colleges or careers you're into, you still have who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that'll be the same throughout the rest of your life. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely
over here.
I'm definitely more scared because like in high school you have it easy. You're mainly like with parents or guardians and you're dependent on them and you have like a cushion basically, and once you're into the real life it's like you're just there. You're dependent on yourself.
I don't know how I'll be able to be an adult.
Yeah.
Going to Costco, spend $300 easily on like the little macaroons.
Yes. Oh my god.
I'm more worried about like
Probably have to live off ramen until I'm 30.
yeah. I'm more scared of like my own personal spending. I'm not good with money at all. So that's something I'm gonna have to learn to deal with.
I've gotten better at that when I like look at like market. Like we did a marketing project last year, like see if you could function a business. I literally, my business was a hot dog cart and I almost ran out of money. Like my theoretical third day of functioning.
Oh wow.
Because I wanted to get the nice buns, like the nice buns and the nice like ketchup squeezy bottle thing.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, how do your whatever things do whatever?
I'm so excited, but I'm also so scared because again with the money thing, if it's my own money, will not spend it. But if it's somebody else's money,
Give me a gift
my
card.
my mom sent me into the grocery store with my brother to get pasta sauce. And we came out with pasta sauce, batteries, cheese, candy, and like chips. And my mom, she was like, how much money did you just spend? I said $30. And she said, you were not allowed to use my debit card again.
I'm not allowed to have a debit card until like my birthday.
I'm not allowed to get one at all because my parents know that as soon as it's not in cash and as soon as it's not mine, I will spend it so fast.
Yeah, because I like can't see. It's like
No, I
it's
know,
a,
it's
it's
like
a piece
I
of plastic.
Yeah.
I can't see how much is left.
Because I know that that for advisory, Miss Colleen had started teaching us how to handle money more through budgeting or through starting handling spending accounts and things of that nature. So like, do you think you guys could maybe custom yourselves to learning, or will you always be able to just spend it off a whim?
I do notice I've been starting to learn. I mean, this sounds really okay. This sounds kind of douchey. Sorry, I'm not trying not to have a dolphin noise bleep me out. But it sounds kind of douchey. Like, I personally, on like a personal level, I've always like had like my mom like, oh.
Nope. Okay.
Oh.
There you go.
Whoa.
It's a side. Okay, I've always had like a way of like asking for something and eventually getting it, so I don't like really think about how much it adds up. Like I'll think about like I'll try and find a Christmas gift for my mom and be like, nope, too expensive, nope. But anyway, like my dad's still paying for the Christmas gift I'm giving to my mom, so I didn't really have to think about that. And I've been starting to learn, like my mom will be like, this is how much you get for this amount of time, and you don't get like another like installment, like a paycheck kind of thing, to work like an allowance for doing stuff, I guess. And I've been learning, I guess, a little bit because I've like noticed how much it adds up. Postmates, not worth it.
I've definitely learned more, like, when you get a job and it's your money and you're working for that money, it's different because, like, you don't want to spend it on something stupid because you're working for it, and you want to spend it on something that you need. So I've definitely gotten better, but I still have my moments where I go on Amazon and I do shopping spree. Like, nothing can stop me. But
Jeff
I think
Bezos
I'll
has
get
my
better.
heart. It's so bad too.
Yeah.
Like fall fashion trends. Ooh, this is on Pinterest.
Yeah.
So kind of that idea of responsibility, how have you guys been able to, maybe mature yourselves more into high school and maybe accustom yourselves to a more, adultery lifestyle? Do you guys see yourselves in a more mature light compared to when you were in middle school?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, now, like, I have friends who are older than me, like, who can drive, and I've been more responsible with, like, I've been more conscious of other people's, like, not belongings, but, like, paying for gas money and stuff like that, like, figuring out, like, I'm more responsible in terms of how I handle myself with other people, because I guess, like, in middle school...
Drama?
Yes. Oh, God, yes. But, like, more so of you kind of... I know this is a bit cliche. You kind of figure out who your friends are, and you kind of figure out, like, who you want to be as a person. It's character development, and that's part of being more responsible for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'd say freshman me versus junior me right now is a completely different person. 100% I've changed so much throughout the years, and I know it sounds, like, weird, like, people don't change, but they do, and I've definitely become more mature. I'd say I agree with you based on, like, you really know who your friends are. Like, I've lost a lot of friends, I've gained a lot, and it's just, like, you kind of figure out who you are throughout the high school experience, and you know your worth and just stuff like that.
Yeah, like, you're responsible for yourself and others, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a junior, I still have no friends. Just blatant, I have no friends. Because I think that socially, I think a lot of people... I think even though there's a lot of people my age, I don't think a lot of people are really accustomed. Because I'm very picky about my friends in a sense where you have to be mature. You have to have some sense of responsibility. I think a lot of the guys that I hang out with, they're fun to hang out with. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't consider them my friends. You know,
That's
those
just a
people
dude
you just
thing.
hang out with.
Yeah.
That's a dude thing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is.
Mostly, stop me if I'm wrong, but as 3 females here, I mostly have gone through friends because of emotional maturity, I guess, or like it all comes back to like respecting other people and respecting yourself mostly, because obviously in high school you do a lot of like soul searching, I guess, and like figuring out who you want to be. So like if those friends don't match up with who you are, it's not picky. It's basically being selective about who you let into your life and who you trust, I guess, because it hurts, man, when like you find out that someone's doing something or someone said something that like is totally like whoa, like didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, there's people definitely out there who are just toxic. I guess it's really like...
Well, there's toxic people and then there's toxic people for you.
Yes,
I've learned
exactly. Like there's people who you just... they're not meant for you to be your friends.
Yeah. Like I can be your acquaintance, but I don't think I could be like, I'll call you up if I'm crying.
Yeah.
Do you guys have many friends like that, or do you only have select few?
Oh.
I used to be like that. I had the same friend group for 2 years straight, and then quarantine happened, and then suddenly,
No one
in
talks
1
to anyone.
week, not a single text.
Yeah.
Except for one person, 2 people. I don't even go to school with them anymore, but we didn't talk for like 6 months. And then right before school started, they were like, oh, I have one class with you. Let me text you again. And then we just didn't click anymore.
Yeah.
And then the first day came around, I'm like, I'm going to be lonely this year. And then my last class, my PE class, I met like 3 girls. 3? 4. I can't do math. I think there's 4. There's 4. And I was like, you guys are cool. So now we're all friends now.
Yeah, I think that's a thing, because if this makes any sense and I'm not just like speaking gibberish, I have class friends, I have lunch friends, and I have friends. So like lunch friends are the people that I can like communicate with outside of like a 10-minute conversation, and who I'll text them occasionally, and like, but they're not necessarily like my friends. But like then there's the friends that like I hang out with outside of school. Like those could be like lunch friends, I guess. But if I see like certain people, I will duck in a grocery store and walk away. My mom goes, why did you do that? Because they're my age. She's like, yes. And I was like, scary. And then I have like the people, and then there's the people who I talk to in class, which is like a completely different thing.
Yeah.
I guess where like I'll like talk to them because I deem them the only cool person in that class. Be like, you're cool. I'm gonna talk to you, make you like me. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. I'd say like over quarantine, I definitely have lost a lot of friends because it's just like I don't really talk to people unless they talk to me.
Oh,
I don't know why I do that, but that's just how I am. And so I basically have a select few friends who I'm really close with and I hang out with outside of school, and then the rest are kind of people I just talk to at school.
Yeah.
So
I only have one of those. I had a couple, but
Yeah,
now with
have-
like quarantine and like, I guess I kind of like, I did reach out a lot as like a way of making friends.
Yeah.
Like when I felt like I had to, but then like over quarantine, I was like, I kind of had the mindset like if you don't reach out to me first as much as I reach out to you, I don't think it's worth it.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like, and that's like a huge thing for me. So like, I only have one of those friends because we do this thing. I call it telephone tag. So like, I'll call her and be like, "Guess what just happened? Oh, last night I cut my hair myself." And I was like, I sent her a picture of my hair in the sink. And she calls me. She goes, "What did you just do?" And she's like, "Hold up, I gotta pee." Boop. And then I like called her back and I was like, "Dude, I totally regret this." But we'll do that like all day, and I realized that like I didn't do that with a lot of friends, and that like shows me that like we can pick up where we left off even if we don't talk for 2 weeks. And that's like the kind of person I want to be like have in my corner with me.
Yeah, that's definitely how my friendships are. Like with me, I don't really like to have friends that are picky about how much I hang out with them and that type of stuff. It's just like when I hang out with you, it should be the same as the last time I hung out with you. Just because we haven't talked for a few weeks doesn't mean I'm any less of your friend.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
So what's the differentiation? What's the differentiation? Like, what attributes are you looking for mostly in a friend?
Honestly, I need someone who mellows me out, man. Like oh gosh, like I find that in a lot of different people, and that I'm not going to limit that to certain like characteristics and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people do have like what I find really mean is when people are like, oh gosh, like someone told me that I was in honors. Someone said like, "You're in honors classes. I'm not going to be friends with you." Didn't know that was a thing until someone said that. But then I kind of thought about it for a while. I guess that makes sense, like on some level. But then on another level, I wouldn't characterize my friends like that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess like obviously like some people are different kinds of smart. Like there's obviously like smart where you can like dedicate yourself to something, but there's also like where you can like pick up on like certain things. Like I don't think I'm very emotionally smart while other people are, but then like I like will like get a good grade without even thinking about it or something like that, I guess. And like when choosing people who like are like, no, I don't want to do that, like that shows me you're not only picky about who like how smart or someone is, as stupid as that sounds, but you're also picky about like who you surround yourself with, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. I'm definitely not picky. I just need somebody who's like energetic and like outgoing, because me, if somebody comes at me with like an awkward vibe, I'll do the same back.
Oh, totally.
That's how I am, because if somebody comes at me and they're like outgoing and talkative, I'll talk to them. Like that's something I've always done. I don't do well in awkward situations.
Or like if I'm with another person, I think what you're like, if I had you as a friend, you'd mellow me out as a sense, because I'd fill up the entire conversation talking and you'd be like, yes, I agree. And then you'd like talk back after I shut up. And I don't want to be picky about who I'm friends with, I guess. Like everyone from all different backgrounds, all different like things like that, but I just like, I need someone who like balances me. It's pretty simple. How about you?
I just talk a lot, so it doesn't matter who I'm friends with, because like if they're gonna be chill with me, then I'll be chill with you. If they're gonna be like not okay with me, then that's gonna happen too. And like if I can vibe with you, that's cool. If you can literally do the dumbest things with me, because I also have like zero common sense, but I do.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like I have common sense sometimes, but then like
Other times, you'll catch me jumping off of somebody's roof into a pool in the middle of January because one person said, "I dare you." You won't.
Me cutting my hair because I saw a TikTok. Did that.
So it's just like, I mean, I don't really care who my friends are. Like,
Yeah.
if we're cool, we're cool. If we're not,
Yeah.
then I'm sorry.
And like if the person has that same mindset, I think that's how a friendship works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it works out if you're thinking the same things. Because in a sense, like a friendship, I think about friendship sometimes in terms of like, when I say like, what am I getting out of this? It sounds kind of mean, but like when I think about what I'm getting out of a friendship, like emotional support or like stability or something like that. Mental. But like, I don't know, like if I'm getting like that out of a friendship, I guess that's someone balancing me out.
Mm.
I don't know.
I definitely forgot what I was gonna say. So yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, anyways, let's move on.
Like, what attributes do you look in into a friend?
My brain just farted. I can't think.
Someone told me I was too ugly or like too pretty to be like not too pretty. Never mind, somebody told me that, but but they're like, well, I don't like think we like would look good together in a picture. Someone has told me that.
That's not
That's
my
a middle.
problem.
That's a middle school thing.
That is.
Oh,
My
that's
God.
what I was gonna say. I cannot be friends with somebody who produces so much drama.
Dude.
I literally got told in 7th grade, this girl, she was one of my friends. She came to school and I was like, oh, your shirt's really cute. Where did you get it? Because I genuinely liked it. So I went and I bought it too. And then I wore it to school and she was like, so are you wearing the shirt? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, great, now I have to walk home and change my shirt. And I was like, what? And
Yeah.
and it was literally in the middle of winter too, so we were gonna be wearing hoodies all day. No one's gonna know.
Mm.
And she was not okay. I was like, girl, okay, whatever.
Oh, I have a similar experience like that, but it was kind of like a, okay, a little story time, I guess. I grew up fat and eventually attractive, so I don't really like process when people are like nice to me in a romantic way. So this dude complimented my style, and apparently that's like someone like telling you look good. And then he also like said that like my friend who I was with, he was like, oh, I like your shirt. You guys are kind of dressed similarly. And she goes, no, I'm not. I wear Brandy Melville. She can't. Oh my God.
Wow.
Do you know what Brandy Melville is?
I want to say it's a brand.
It's a brand within a brand, but they only make one size fits all clothes, which are size zeros. I'm not a size zero, so I took it that way, and that's the way she meant it.
Throw the whole girl away.
That's just
That's
And that's toxic. That's I can't deal with
Those
that.
are the type of people that I just can't deal with.
And apparently, 10 minutes later, I found out he was hitting on me. So it's
Yeah.
all works
I
out.
just can't take people who are critical in that type of way. Like, I just can't.
people that give you dirty looks for no reason.
Oh my God.
When someone looks at me and goes, "I don't like you," or but their eyes say it, or like,
Yes.
or like they'll
They
I mean, I
size
do
you
that a
up.
lot. I do that so much, but like as a joke with people
like
that I know.
snap judgments, I guess. But like,
I don't do
Somebody
that.
did that to me on the first day. I walked into my classroom, and then the girl that I sat next to, she did that to me, and I was like, "Excuse you, I don't even know who you are yet. Do not get me started today."
You know, for student government, we had to do that thing where we talked to freshman advisories about clubs.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have to do it. You're a freshman.
Yeah, I was.
But I did it. And walking into a class full of freshmen, it's kind of empowering because they kind of find me like cooler than people. I guess in high school, like a separation of grade is a pretty big separation, even though it's probably like a year or less in age. But walking into a class full of freshmen, it can either be the most stressful thing in the world or it can be the most easygoing thing in the world where they think you're like God. But I got a really cool advisory class, but we were going to more than one, right? So I go to the second one, and I'm like on this high because I was making jokes and they were laughing. But then I walk into this class, and I can tell that like it's full of dudes.
Oh no.
And dudes, and dudes who I can tell were obviously judgmental, but judgmental in the way of like you're like unpopular versus like that kind of thing.
There's a lot of guys like that.
Like guys like that, and I was like, okay, this is either gonna be the worst thing ever or they're gonna surprise me. I really hope it's the second one. It wasn't, and I walk into this class and I notice that this dude looks at me and like he talks over to his friends, and I'm like point him out, I felt really rude, but I was like, yo, what you talking about? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, he looked at me and he made this like snap judgment about like, I don't even know what he said, but I can tell he obviously like felt some sort of dislike towards me.
Yeah.
Weird.
I just hate when people judge me like, just by looking at me. Like, I noticed with me, I have a face that's kind of like when I have RBF.
Totally
I
have that.
Such a rude vibe.
Yeah, and I swear I'm not like that. So like, if you get to know me, and then you'll like me. But a lot of people don't do that. They just assume that I'm mean and quiet.
I mean, you're pretty, so I would think you're mean.
Yeah.
I walked in the other room and I was like, oh, she seems really intimidating.
That's
but
what everybody
girls
has
do that
said.
a lot. Oh my goodness
we
me.
just automatically get intimidated.
But I'll like see a pretty girl in public and I'll be like, she thinks I'm ugly, and then walks away. Be like, she just judged what I'm wearing. Walks away. But like that probably didn't happen. She's probably like a sweetheart. She's probably a Heather. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. Like when I'll see like somebody who's like, you know, like the stereotype that like cheer girls are like stupid or mean.
Yeah.
Like that is totally not true. Like I have a bunch of friends on the cheer squad. Like one of my best friends, Olivia, she was on varsity cheer last year, and I like went to the football games. I like did a lot of things, but like what bothered me is that a lot of people assumed that like the way they talked to her versus the way they talked to me was insane to me. Like she was in her cheer uniform with her bow in her hand, doing all her cheers, and I walk up and talk to her, and this person knew me, I guess, like, acquaintance-wise, and the way they talked to her was, like, made a snap judgment about her based on, like, the stereotype of a cheerleader. Either she was stupid or dumb, and I was talking to her about class the next day. I have honors algebra with her, and I had student government with her. So, obviously, she's more than meets the eye, like most people obviously are.
Yeah.
And this dude tries to dumb down, like, mansplain to her, like, the like, algebra I was talking about. And I was like, does he seriously, like, think this? But, like, I hate people who do that.
I hate stereotypes. I don't stereotype personally.
Sometimes I do.
I
see
feel
a
like
mullet,
I don't.
see a mullet.
Nope.
I want my
Okay,
mullet
that
back.
was different. But I don't stereotype, so, like, I don't like it when other people stereotype me, because, like, you have to meet me before you define who I am in your eyes.
So that's kind of so I think it's a little bit scary because nowadays kids our age, they don't know whether to differentiate attributes from values. You know, like someone's hair color isn't equating to something of value.
I got highlights. Like a different person.
The fact that I'm blonde, people are like, oh, people
dumb
make
blonde
so
thing?
many dumb blonde no. You
Dumb.
know what I'm trying to say. I swear I'm not this dumb.
I was about to say something, Patty. You just proved it right.
Literally, okay, I swear. I'm literally like a straight A honors student though.
Yeah.
I just sometimes don't have common sense. And I
Same.
also talk too fast, so my words get mixed up a lot. And people are like, oh, you're dumb. And I'm like, no.
Very
see
much
my
so.
test scores, bud.
Yeah.
That sounds so petty. I'm sorry.
That's right.
I love being petty. Like sometimes the stereotypes are true, but like those are the people that make the stereotypes true. Like obviously, if you have a mullet, doesn't mean you ride you have a truck and you ride
Play
horses
baseball.
and you like play baseball, you ride horses and stuff like that. Obviously, other stuff that I was gonna say, but I'm not gonna say it. You see what I'm talking about?
We all know what we're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, but obviously there's people that do that that make the stereotype true, and I guess that kind of sucks for the other people. Not to be a Gen Zer, but TikTok really opened up my mind to stuff like that. So I kind of did this thing for a while when I first got TikTok. I look at someone and I'll be like, oh, they're about to say something stupid, scroll.
Yeah.
Now I watch the whole video because I don't know what they're gonna say, or when it'll be something about or when people will make a TikTok, not making fun of people, but being this dude with a mullet. Come back to that. This dude with a mullet made a video about if you're over a certain weight, don't hit me up or whatever. And this I saw that and I thought it was his account, so I was scroll, I hate that, but then. I noticed the video was longer, and I was like, okay. And it was this girl, there's a song I was like, big girl, you are beautiful, and like something like that, and like she like danced to it, and I was like, yes, and I followed her, like, and not from that day forward. I guess I still kind of do it sometimes, but like it kind of gave me a perspective on like, you're not what meets the eye, like that's cool. Like even if it wasn't like the same situation as like meeting someone in real life, but it's still a show of character what you post online.
Yeah, definitely. If you stereotype me, I'll be that stereotype for you. It's that type of thing.
Like you think I'm mean because like I had a bad day. Yeah, you can think I'm mean, because if you think I'm mean, obviously if like someone thinks you're mean, they're obviously not going to make the effort to try and be friends with you.
Yeah.
And the neutrality of hating someone and not wanting and being friends with, or like actively trying to be friends with someone, it comes off as like, I think you're like terrible.
Yeah.
So there's not obvious hate there, so you can't assume, but there's also the aspect of like you're not trying to talk to me, or like not necessarily trying to talk to me, but not like making conversation when the opportunity comes. So like if like something like that happens, and like if I'm having a bad day, and then like the rest of like a couple months, someone's like wow, like I really don't like you. Like I'll be like, why? Like I don't even know you.
Yeah.
This happened a lot in middle school.
Yeah.
When I first moved here in 7th grade, I was a bit defensive because it was new school and things like that. And I kind of had my guard up for a while, and then I made friends. Yeah, I don't have those friends anymore, but I made friends, and I kind of opened up a bit, and I became a bit more outgoing in the way I like conversed with people and stuff like that. But then 8th grade rolled around, and I noticed like it was still there. Like, why don't you like me? Funny story. Met one of my like longtime friends because she thought I was really mean at the beginning of the year, because her friend said so, and then we were best friends for a long time.
So kind of transitioning off of that, this will be like kind of like the highlight part of the episode. But you guys are into desserts, right?
Yes. Oh god.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I love
so
pumpkin spice.
so
I'll
I-
perpetuate the stereotype that white people like pumpkin spice because it's true.
So I have a top 10 list of best desserts in the world. What do you guys think has to make this list?
Chocolate chip cookies, easy.
I literally had a chocolate chip cookie for lunch.
I bake a lot, like grandma.
Me too.
I made peach cobbler. I made peach cobbler, cinnamon rolls, pumpkin spice chocolate chip cookies.
That sounds
Dog. I love food, man. And I think like people are gonna enjoy food. Like, and I like chocolate. I met someone who doesn't like chocolate. I can't be friends with you. Oopsie. Like that says something about your character if you don't like chocolate.
Okay.
I'd say like either chocolate or vanilla ice cream. I personally like chocolate.
I think chocolate has to make the list somehow.
Yeah.
Chocolate's gotta make the list somehow because it's like a part of like everything.
Yeah. Like chocolate
Or
cake,
at least something with pie. I love like apple pie. Like not apple
It's
pie.
probably gonna be like.
I love that like berry pie stuff. There's this pie shop up in Flagstaff. Cute little old couple owns it. They're so cute. And they gave me a free slice of pie, but I didn't know what it was. She's like, just eat it. And I like, it's the best thing I've like ever tasted in like a long time, like best pie. And she was like, it's my special recipe. And they're so cute. Oh, I love that.
Well,
memories I have associated with food like are like really good because it's food.
Well, for the number 9, we have hummingbird cake.
What's hummingbird cake?
Do you guys know what
I've
that?
never had that.
So apparently it's cream cheese, or if cream cheese were a food group, all of it would be all would be right in the world. So it's a
Oh god.
Yeah.
I just keep talking about how I love
Cake.
chocolate. Lactose intolerant.
So I'm guessing it has cream cheese.
Cream cheese.
It says it's the origins of this
That's
cake
the
trace
hummingbird
back to
cake.
Jamaica, and it's a much loved dessert. It's cream cheese. It has frosting, and it looks like it's like a mix of chocolate or maybe cinnamon. And
It's like chocolate
it looks
stuff.
very unique. I didn't know this was like, this is a very unique type of cake. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. Oh, do you know what tiramisu is?
Tiramisu. I've heard of it.
So good.
Okay,
love
so
it.
I have an Italian grandma. She's an immigrant. Love her. She came over here when she was like 9, and she has those like old Italian values. Like, she cusses at me in Italian and stuff like that. Or like she'll burn her hand on the stove and she'll like say something bad in Italian. But like I love the memories associated with that, like pizzelle cookies, like the little thin, like crunchy cookies.
Mhm.
You know the waffle cone, like the waffle cones.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it like has little pretty designs. And my grandma has a pizzelle iron that came over from Italy, and like seeing her break that out on Christmas is like a super cool thing. But then she hates making tiramisu because she's from a different part of Italy than like the people that do that. But I love it, so I figured out how to make it. It turned out terrible, but just like moral of the story. Like heritage and food, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And like all the memories and stuff. Tiramisu, it's like ladyfingers, which are like little like biscuit cookies soaked in espresso with cream, with mascarpone cream, which is like a type of cheese, but it doesn't taste like cheese. But then it has like cocoa powder on it, and then like some of it has chocolate on it.
Is there alcohol in it too?
It's coffee liqueur. It's coffee liqueur, which is technically alcohol.
Well, we have
super low
well, we made chocolates didn't make the list because we got brownies, American brownies. That is a must-have.
I can never make brownies like good unless it's from the box. They don't taste the same.
Literally, my family has learned that they cannot ask me to make brownies because I will sit there and eat the brownie batter with a spoon until it is gone.
I've eaten cookie dough and like raw eggs, like not raw eggs, but like raw like dough my whole life.
Me too.
I one time I ate like that crescent roll dough uncooked.
I always want to know what it tastes like.
It's good.
Yeah, it's so good.
So for 7, we have Belgian waffles, and then for it's kind of hard to like mess up Belgian waffles too. Those are like
it's
those
pretty
are
easy. I've
a
done
delicacy. What you have?
Yeah. One time my dad, so we have this thing, my mom, I like aesthetically pleasing things in the kitchen, and my mom doesn't really cook, so she likes things for show. We have those like big glass jars with like little labels on them that say sugar and salt and things like that. And sugar is a key part in making Belgian waffles. But what also looks like sugar?
Salt.
You did not.
I did, and I didn't realize it till I cooked it. Smelled kind of funky.
So for number 6, we have tiramisu. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. It really was good.
Let me read the little thingy. Favorite dessert of all time. It's an Italian dessert, but that says nothing.
So it's usually a delicious treat after a typical Italian dinner.
Yeah, it's like a palate cleanser or something.
That's good to know. 5, we have s'mores.
S'mores are so good.
Yeah.
The little toasty on the outside. I don't like people who like don't like the crunchy. Not like burnt. I don't like burnt. That's
My
weird.
mom makes
But like golden brown on
my
the
mom catches
outside.
hers on fire.
Yeah, me too.
You catch yours on fire?
I like burnt. I don't know.
Everything sounds like, oh my god, on grilled cheese or like toast, I have to do like the lowest setting on my toast because I like scrape off everything.
So for 4, we have Portuguese tarts.
I know what those are.
So I know what tarts are, but I don't know like what Portuguese tarts are. So apparently it's sprinkled, so it's served with a sprinkle of cinnamon. It doesn't tell you specifically what's inside of it, but I'm guessing sugar.
Imagine like a tart, but with like cheesy on the inside, but doesn't taste like cheese. So like it has like a cheesy thing in it, and then like fruit. I'm not really sure. I had fig Portuguese tarts. I don't like figs, so I didn't think they were good. But it's like a tart is like the like dough filling, and then like sometimes like fruit. But like it's kind of the same thing, but it's like an old timey recipe. It was pretty good.
So for 3, we got Banoffee pie. So it looks served like really. It has like bananas, whipped cream, chocolate.
I'm hungry.
If you're certified, if you're caramel obsessed, this would be good for you. It has butterscotch, dulce de leche. It comes in different flavors. It looks really good. So for 2, we have pavlova.
Oh, it's meringue. You know those little meringue bites? That's like a big circle of it with fruit on top.
Really?
So good.
Wow. That looks really good. That looks like it'd fill you up instantly.
Yeah. It's like really like it does that thing where it like crunches in your mouth. If you cook it the right way, it like crunches and then it melts and you like eat the fruit.
What do you guys think number 1 is?
I feel like it's gotta be a chocolate chip cookie or like chocolate cake. It's gotta be something.
I feel like it's cake.
Cake?
I don't know.
I feel like it's a chocolate chip cookie.
I feel like it's probably like fudge cake or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Fudge is good. You ever tried the fudge at Cabela's?
Yes. It's
Cabela's?
so good.
So, walking in there with all the little fish on the wall.
Yes.
The talking fish.
But I'm lactose intolerant, so like the fudge.
I'm preparing my body for the apocalypse. I don't care what anybody says. I will willingly drink a milkshake to build up my immune system. That's why I don't have COVID yet. Knock on wood.
When there's no wood.
There's no wood anywhere because your school is made of metal
And plastic.
So for number 1, we have what? Oh, gelato. Gelato.
I didn't even think about ice cream.
Gelato.
Never had gelato.
Gelato is a solid. Gelato is a solid one.
Gelato's pretty solid.
It's very.
They make this like really good coffee gelato.
It's very delicate. I
Wait,
remember.
that's why I have had gelato.
Oh, wait,
I
isn't
had
it-
in.
It's a fancy flavor. It's like the first like development of ice cream before it was American.
It's like very
It's an Italian
smooth.
thing.
It's very smooth ice cream. It's very delicate. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's like very it's here it's where it's like it's a fashion version of ice cream in a sense.
Yeah, because it making gelato takes a lot longer than making ice cream.
Yeah.
It's like Americanized ice cream. There's like software serve and then there's like that hard ice cream. But gelato's kind of like mixed between a Wendy's Frosty and like that hard ice cream you get in a
Super
tub.
smooth, super smooth.
And it's like super smooth and stuff, but like it's not like it's like hard to like you don't bite into gelato.
Yeah.
But like some people bite into their ice cream. If you bite into your ice cream, oh.
Because sometimes, so I remember last time I had a gelato, they'd give you a cone like served gelato. They give you a cup gelato. But like the different flavors are really those. Like they had mint, they had coffee, I think they had what's it? It was a nut kind of pistachio. Yeah. So like they really vary it up for you. It's very very delicious dessert. So that's the end of the list. So we're kind of wrapping up here on time. Would you guys like to plug anything? This is your time to, shout out any social media, any...
I'm not going to do that. Post weird things on my Instagram.
I don't need it.
Oh, actually, okay, I will plug my will plug an Instagram, cv.stu. Go follow us for updates. Please follow us because we would like the whole school to follow us. That will be great so people know. Because I know, like, a lot of people don't check when their, like, Google Classroom gets updated and stuff.
I don't.
If you do want to follow me, it's Katie_Forsberg. I don't really care.
You can follow me too.
I have a public account because I'm an influencer.
I'm not going to plug my Instagram because it's embarrassing.
I have the first picture like I posted ever getting in it was me in Target with a hoodie on holding a tiny bottle of soda. Like this. And then my friend told me, she's like, that's not what you do. You don't post that. I took it down.
Watch me.
Okay.
Mine is Cara Davis with 2 eyes. So yeah.
Davis.
All right.
Is.
Well, thank you all for coming on. This has been the Jaguar Pride Podcast. Thank you all for a wondrous 10th episode of support. If you're listening to this, or if you're watching this on the CVTV YouTube channel, please show some support through audio services. We are on Spotify. We are on, I think, Apple Music, and we are on the podcast app. So please continue to show your support, and thank you all for listening. I hope you guys have a good one, and thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.